What is going on tonight, YouTube? It's been a few days since I've done a video and I decided, what the heck, why not? Tonight, we are going to do a video on how to set up a enclosure for a new ball python. I will be using a Sterilite 28 quart plastic tub, and I will go over the different kind of substrate you'll need, everything that you're gonna need for this, the heating elements, the hides, the substrate. I'll go over all of that for you, and I'll try to not make this a drawn out video, but I know there's a few people I know who are asking me questions about doing a video like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that tonight, and hopefully if you are thinking about getting a new ball python, hopefully this video will help you set up. This is a very cheap, inexpensive way to house your ball python. Alright, before we get this video and demonstration started, I just want to give a shout out real quick to Bill at BC Pythons. If you haven't checked out his channel, I'll put his link down below in the description. Make sure you check out his channel, an amazing channel. I've been watching it now since the beginning. If you want to get some great knowledge on ball pythons, please go visit his channel. You won't be disappointed, that's for sure. Also, today, my cameramen are going to be my boys, Lycan and Luke. Come on out, guys. Say hi. Say hi to the camera. Lycan, you're too small. Say hi. Say hi. No, you're not. You're waving. Say hi.
Hi.
There you go. Okay. So, without further ado, how about we get into setting up an enclosure for your new ball python? Let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is very obvious, and that is going to be the plastic enclosure. For that, I am using the Sterilite 28 quart tub that I purchased at Walmart for somewhere, I want to say between $4 and $5. Nothing expensive or crazy like that. So that tub looks like this. And if you want to see the exact information on the one that I use. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do when you bring this new tub home. Now, I know, yes, it's brand new. However, you still want to clean it out. You don't know who was touching it, and I mean, how long it sat on the shelves with dust, and you don't know. So, for that, I use my F10 veterinary disinfectant, ready to use. So, I'm going to go ahead and spray it out. Just going to clean that out. Real good. Get the inside real good. Wipe down the outside. Real good. Alright. Good to go. The easiest way to put ventilation holes in this, honestly, is a soldering gun. Honestly, it cuts through this like butter, doesn't leave any sharp edges. You could also use a drill. However, with a drill, I have used that before, and it does leave rough edges that you'll have to sand down. Luke, if you want to come close and show them here. These are the holes, real smooth. They look jagged, but there's nothing. It's not It's just plastic that's melted on the edge. But I only have 3 on this side and then 3 on this side. Now, if you're not going to use this in a rack system, I suggest that you put a few more holes on the sides also. Or if you want to stick with that, you can always see how the humidity is in there and go from there. If you're not using this in a rack system, you are going to need a plastic lid that comes with this. And you will also have to poke holes in that as well for ventilation. If you have the rack system like I use, here's one of the ones I have set up. There you can see there's a gap which is leaving air in. So that is why I only have 3 holes on the front and the back, because it is getting the ventilation it needs from that small gap that you see right there. First of all, for your substrate, if you're using the Sterilite container here, there's a few different options you can use. First of all, probably the cheapest, simple, newspaper. Very simple, very cheap. So there's one option. Second option, also cheap, depending on if you have a membership at the Sam's Club where you can get it bulk and cheap. Paper towels, again, very, very cheap. Okay, so paper towels. Next, what you can use is some Repta-Chip. What this is, it's just ground up coconut fiber. It comes in a block and you actually soak it in water and you let it soak and then you crumble it all down. So there is the Repta-Chip. That is the best thing for humidity out of the 3 that I just mentioned. You can also use Reptile Prime, which I used that and I absolutely love that. That was probably my favorite. However, that was the most expensive. And right now I have 6 tubs and 1 bag would take up those 6 tubs. So when I clean it out once a week, I'm going through 1 bag of Reptile Prime in a week, which is right around $15 before shipping. So that does get a little bit expensive. So the Repta-Chip is right around $20 or $25 for the big block, and this has lasted me for over a month now. However, I just stopped using this and now I use Reptazorb liners. This is what I am currently using for my TGR rack system, which you can see it's a perfect fit, which I absolutely love these, and they are not expensive. And also in this enclosure I used the Reptazorb in here as well, and it fits perfectly in these 28 quart containers. There's my baby Sudoku back there just chilling out. What's up, baby? You look happy. Good night. So those are your options for your substrate. So if you want to go cheap, paper towels. Newspapers. If you want to bump that up a little bit, you can go to the ReptiChip, Reptile Prime, the Reptazorb liners. They're also cheap. Okay, first of all, what you're going to need, your heat mat. If you're using the heat mat, now if you're putting this in a rack system, obviously you are going to most likely have heat tape. If you're using this as a temporary setup, or if you're not having it in a rack system, then heat mat works fine. I used these for the first probably 3 months. A couple months I had them and they work great. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna flip this tub over. I already sprayed it down and cleaned it off. Make sure it's sprayed down and cleaned off real good. You're gonna put it on there, and you're just gonna work out all of the air bubbles. Real nice. Get the air bubbles out. Okay. So once you do that, and you know you got all the air bubbles out, or most of the air bubbles out, what you're gonna do is now, also, I should mention, when you buy these heat mats here, they come with little plastic, like rubber nipples that you put on here to raise your enclosure off the ground so there's airflow underneath. So I don't have them right now, but there are those little rubber nipples that come with it. So once you get this on, if you are having problems getting this to stick down, what I have used in the past is I've taken Gorilla Tape and I've put in Gorilla Tape over the sides just to keep it extra, just a little bit of extra adhesive, I guess you could say, to hold this down. So once you have that on there, go ahead and flip it over. Now, once you have that, another big thing is make sure this cord is not kinked. That would be very dangerous. You don't want to have that cable kinked in any way. So when you look at it, there you have your heat mat. And here is the cord coming out, okay? You want to, like I said, make sure that's not pinched or anything. Make sure nothing's sitting on that. So we have that. Now I always make wherever the cord is the back of my tubs. So we have our heating system now, and obviously if you're using the heat mat, you're definitely going to want to have a thermostat as well. I will go over that also during this video and show you how easy it is to set that up. For this video, I'm going to make it real easy. We're going to use the Reptazorb. Well, you know what? Most of you aren't going to be able to go out and buy these Reptazorb liners at a store, so we're not going to use those right now. Make it easier. Everyone has these in their house, so real simple. Luke, come on over. This is how hard this is, okay? I hope people can do this. It might be a little difficult, okay? Okay. Here, Luke. Okay. There you go. There is your substrate for your ball python's enclosure. Like I said, very difficult, okay? So, there you have it. It's as easy as that. You got your substrate. You got your heat mat under here. Now, what you need, you're going to need a couple of hides, okay? For your hides, you're going to need one on your warm side where you have your heat mat, and you're going to need one on the cold side for your ball python to go and relax when he's getting a little bit too warm, okay? Another thing that I didn't explain in the other video about the must-haves for your ball python. The reason you need a heat mat or heat tape on the bottom is your ball python needs belly heat. they need that belly heat to digest their food. Okay, so that's the main reason why you have the heat mat, heat tape, that kind of stuff. Also, Bill at BC Pythons, he sells enclosures that have back heat. That's another option. A lot of people like to have back heat for them also. Make sure you check out, like I said, Bill's page, and has some awesome racks. I'm definitely going to be purchasing some of those in the near future. So here I have a couple of hides, okay? Very simple. This one is a Vivarium Electronics one. Medium size, I think. When you do choose your hides for your ball python, make sure they are not too big. Your ball python likes to be in confined spaces. So if they barely fit in these, that's what you want. So, on here, put one on the hot side, okay? There you go. Now this one here, it's a little bit too big for this. I don't know if I have a smaller one over here. Here's a nicer size one here. Like I said in my other video, these ones, if you're getting the wood, if you get these from a store, Petco, PetSmart, I would say it's pretty safe to say that they've already been cleaned and stuff like that, but I still like to either freeze it or put it in the oven and bake it for at least a half hour, 45 minutes. Just to make sure if there is anything on here, that it kills it. If you go out back and you cut down a tree and make one of these, you definitely need to either freeze it or bake it in the oven to make sure if there's any parasites or insects or bugs, anything, that you're killing them. So, go ahead and put this one in the cold side, just like this. Very simple. The next necessity you're going to need is a water bowl. Okay? Something, you want to get a water bowl that has some weight to it. Because if you put like a little plastic little container in there, trust me, they're tipping it over. You're cleaning their cage every day. So this has a little bit of weight to it. So you're going to want to put that on the cold side. Okay? So we have the substrate, which we're using the paper towels. We have 2 hides. We have a water bowl. You might say, well, that's all they need. For them, yes, that would be what they need right there. However, you need a thermostat and a temperature and a humidity gauge. You need to keep track of that temperature. The biggest thing that you're going to need, heat gun. You want a heat gun. Very inexpensive. This is probably the most accurate way you're going to be able to keep the temperature, that you can tell what the temperature is on the hot side and the cold side. However, just for safe keepings, what I like to do is I have a thermometer and a humidity gauge in one. Usually what I do, I have 2-sided Velcro that I'll put on here and put it in the enclosure, and then I will put it in the enclosure. Okay, so then I can keep track of the temperature and the humidity inside there. It's very easy setup. All you need to make your ball python happy is their tub. You'll need the heat system for their belly heat. You need a couple hides, one on the warm side, one on the cold side, a water bowl, a thermometer, and a humidity gauge. And what I did forget is the thermostat that will be hooked up to the heat mat. This is a very inexpensive thermostat you can get off Amazon. And I used this for a couple months and it still works perfect. So I'll even show you on my homemade rack over here. I currently am using the same brand to heat this whole rack. 3 rows of heat tape. And it is working great still. So you don't have to go out and buy the expensive thermostats. To start out, this is fine. And as simple as it is, I'm going to show you. All you're going to do, take your heat mat, okay? Plug it right in to the thermostat. On your thermostat, you are going to have a probe, okay? What you're going to want to do is take that probe and on the heat mat, you're going to want to put that underneath the heat mat. So when I move this, you'll be able to see where it's at. You can see it's right on top of the heat mat, in between the heat mat and your plastic tub. Some people say, well, that's stupid. Why would I put it down there when I want to know what the temperature is up here on the surface? Well, the thing is, the reason you want to do that is for the accurate temperature of the actual heat mat. It is very simple. If you have the probe in between the heat mat and your Sterilite tub, you may have to raise the temperature up a little bit. Now, let's say you want 90 degrees on your hot side. You may want to set your thermostat to 92 degrees to get that 90-degree belly heat for your ball python. So before you even get your ball python, you need to get all of this and get it set up and do some trial runs on it. That way you can see what the temperature is like in here. So when you do this and you turn on your thermostat and your heat mat, you may have to turn your thermostat up to 92, 93 degrees to get that 90 degrees on the surface of your tub. Or you may have it on there so good with no air bubbles that you set it at 90 degrees and the bottom of that tub, it's 90 degrees. It's something you just have to play with until you get it right. The same goes with the ventilation holes. You may be able to have 3 ventilation holes on each side. And that may be perfect. It may keep the humidity at the perfect level. Or you may have to put 3 on each side or even more. It's just something that you yourself has to play with to get it exactly right. And the main thing is you want to have it perfect and exactly right before, I'll say it again, before you get your ball python. Alright everyone, well I hope you liked our video this evening, and this right here was our cameraman for this video. Hopefully he did a good job. I'll have to go back and watch it while I'm editing it, but I'm sure he did a great job. Here we got Lycan. He was my motivational member back here cheering me on during the video. So again, I hope you enjoyed our video. I hope it helped some of you guys out there who are thinking about getting a new ball python or are wondering what kind of setup to use or how to set up your enclosures for them. If you have any questions at all, or if I forgot to add something, please go ahead down below, comment, let other people know what else that I forgot during these videos. There are chances that I'm going to forget some things while I'm going through these, because I'm trying to be as thorough as I can, but at the same time I'm trying to get through them so it's not an hour video all the time. But again, I hope it helped somebody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy my videos in general. Well, I should say the whole family, we love making these videos for you, and I want to continue to do so. If there are any videos that you would like to see personally, please leave me a comment, send me messages, and let me know what kind of videos you would like to see. I've done the TGR rack review. I've done feeding videos. I've done a few feeding videos. Did my reptile room tour. I mean, I've done a bunch of videos. But let me know what you want to see. But if you're watching this video and you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And if you are subscribed to me, thank you very much. I owe everything to you guys. I appreciate all the great comments that you guys give me. It really encourages me to keep going and keep driving and making these videos for you guys. Well, God bless you. You alright? Okay. But again, I love making these videos for you guys, and the kids, they equally love making these and coming and watching as I do it. So again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit that like button down there. Please turn on that bell notification so every time I do upload a new video, you can get notified. And don't forget, check out Bill at BC Pythons. Description, or his link will be underneath here in the description. But I hope everyone has an amazing evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you're going to watch this video. And I will see you all very, very soon. Say bye, guys.